to touch on this whole thing with IVB Boxing, I Visit Boxing, this new company that's coming out of nowhere. All right, you got this guy Ed Pereira, who worked for Turkey Outlaw Sheik and Salah, and he was like the event guy. He was the guy whose idea it was for Riyadh season to try to do these fights in Alcatraz. He was the guy that was in charge of setting up the Times Square show and all that stuff. But I guess he's decided to branch off and start his own thing, and he's got some lofty ideas. He's talking about doing, well, not, I don't want to say he's talking about. They're going to do Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Usyk July 11th in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And what they're going to do, guys, is they're going to try to attempt to break the record of 135,000 plus fans, which was set back in 1941 when Tony Zale fought Billy Pryor. All right. And how a lot of you may ask, like, how the hell is this random boxing promotional company going to get 130,000 plus people to go to San Francisco? Well, from what I've read and from what I've seen, a lot of those tickets, it's going to be at the Civic Center. It's going to be in an open space. It's a lot of the tickets are going to be free. And the way they're going to fund all this, according to Mr. Ed Pereira from IVB Boxing, apparently he's a marketing guy. From what I've gathered about him in my research and watching interviews, he's a marketing guy. Been a marketing guy for like 30 years, pretty much. And he says they have, 3 to 4 really big time corporate sponsors. And they're going to use that to I guess cover any of the losses they will have on production and these kind of things. So we'll see how it goes. We see these things every couple of years with Triller and Disrupt Promotions and Probellum. We've seen it so many times in boxing, but I do think, guys, what I will say is this: I'm seeing some differences here with this than opposed to other things, and I'm gonna get into that now. So let's try to unpack this. What the hell is IVB Boxing? How the hell are they gonna get 130,000 people to come to some show in San Francisco? And just all that stuff, all that blase. So we'll start here. So here it is. July the 11th. San Francisco. And by the way, guys, I'm praying to God that this is true. I'm hoping they follow through with this because I love the Bay Area. I just went to the Bay Area for the first time in August. I was there for 44 days. My boy Yugo Osaki when he was in camp, and I had a ball. I loved it. I love the people. I love the vibes. I loved everything about it. Everything, the food, the women. I mean, everything. Everything about the Bay Area was amazing. So any excuse I can get to go to the Bay Area, I will take it with both hands. And this is a great excuse to go to the Bay Area. But yeah, there you go. They're already planning it for July the 11th in San Francisco. Obviously, Usyk he's a great fighter and one of the best of our era, but he's not a commercial draw. Deontay Wilder, he's a name, right? We'll see how it goes. I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. They say, right? It's funny that they say that the Bay Area isn't a big time boxing market. I've seen people shitting on the Bay Area, which I don't understand because the Bay Area is one of the best sports towns in America. They got the Niners, who are probably the most popular team in all the NFL. You got you got the Warriors. You got the San Jose Sharks, who do well attendance wise most of the time. They do their thing. But for context, just before I even get into IVB Boxing, the Bay Area to me is one of the many boxing markets in this country that doesn't get enough fight cards, like the Bay Area, Chicago. They should get more fights. Look at here are some of the great fights they've had in the Bay Area over the years, like Sugar Robinson fought there, Rocky Marciano fought there, Floyd Mayweather fought there. When Devin Haney fought Regis Prograis, they did very good numbers at the Warriors arena. So the Bay Area, to me, is a sleeping giant in the boxing market. You're talking about a city where the whole overall area is like 7.7 million. If you add up like Alameda County and the broader, 9 counties of the Bay Area, it's like the 5th biggest metropolitan area in America. So, and it's a tech capital of the world. You have the Silicon Valley. Like there's money to be made, and there's business to be done in the Bay Area. And these lazy boxing promoters over the years are idiots for not doing more shows there. People will support boxing in the Bay Area. Devin Haney should be ashamed of himself for not going to the Bay Area more often, honestly. But I digress. I say all that to say this. IVB Boxing. Who is IVB Boxing? Why does it matter? Let's get into it. So this is the report from the BBC out there in UK. So here it is. It says right here, San Francisco Center City Plaza will be turned into an open-air boxing arena with the card being streamed on YouTube, which I'll get to that here in a second, on July the 11th. They're going to attempt to break the world record. I brought that up already. Ed Pereira. So these are quotes from Ed Pereira. He said, I quote, he says, this world record attempt will belong to San Francisco. It belongs to the fans, its fighters, and communities. San Francisco's commitment to community and public engagement reflects IVB's belief that boxing should be built around the fans. And they're anticipating that many of these tickets to these events are going to be, free tickets, which, I'm looking very forward to seeing how all that goes. Now, who the hell is Ed Pereira? Who is this guy? From this report that I've read, right? Let me see. Where did it say here? It says it right here. Where was it? He's basically a marketing guy. Now, look, right here. It says, Mr. Pereira claimed IVB Boxing was involved in advertising and production campaigns for Salah in Turkey-backed fights, including Usyk versus Tyson Fury, Crawford versus Majmov, and Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium. So this was a guy that was behind the scenes, working with Turki Al-Sheikh, working with Salah to coordinate these events, and he got that experience there. He's been in the advertising space, in the marketing space since 1997. All right. So we're talking about decades. This is a guy that knows about marketing. He knows about, advertising and those kind of things. He got his experience and kind of fell in love with boxing, working with Turki Al-Sheikh, doing these big events. And now he wants to branch off and do his own thing. Right. So more power to him, do his thing. Now, the reason why I feel like this does have a chance to be successful is because IVB Boxing already has unveiled a direct streaming distribution deal with YouTube. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm not sure if that's just like going to be YouTube TV related, or if it'll be publicly on YouTube. Like, I'm not sure how that's going to go. But what I do know is that Google, YouTube, the Silicon Valley, all that stuff is in the Bay Area. The Bay Area is one of the biggest metropolitan areas in America, and they showed it. They showed it in the Devin Haney fight. They will come out and support a great event, right? And so, to me, do I think Usyk versus Wilder is this great fight? No, I think Usyk versus Wilder. I'll watch it. I'm intrigued to see how Wilder can do at the stage of his career, because he's not on this level no more. Like, really and truthfully, nothing suggests that he's still at this level, but he can still punch. Maybe he cracks Usyk one time, and who knows? If the heavyweight division, crazier things have happened, right? But if they're going to do this fight at the Civic Center in an open air space, if they're going to make most of the tickets free, if they're going to market it properly, if they're going to have YouTube pushing it out to pushing it through the algorithm and making everybody known. I mean, if he's already got YouTube on his side, then I already feel like that already separates what IVB Boxing is already doing in comparison to, like, when Turkey or Probellum or Disrupt Promotions or any of these, fly-by-night companies we've seen over the years. Everyone has YouTube. I have YouTube. You have YouTube. Your grandmother has YouTube. Your girlfriend has YouTube. Your sister has YouTube. Your uncle has YouTube. Anybody with a smartphone and with a smart TV has YouTube, has access to YouTube. So generally speaking, the amount of viewership you could generate is a lot higher on YouTube than Triller or DAZN, right? So the fact that they're doing that, I'm intrigued. I'm actually intrigued, and I mean, I don't got a dog on the race, but I'm optimistic about it. Really, and truthfully, I'm optimistic about it because, like I said, this guy, and I want to show you guys this. This guy, they had a meeting. They had a big old event right there at the Civic Center in San Francisco. With the mayor. They had Daniel Lurie, the freaking mayor of San Francisco, was there with this guy, Ed Pereira, who I just found out about like 2 days ago, right? They got the mayor on board. They got the city on board. And I think that bodes very, very well. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. Like if there was ever an event, if there was ever anything in the fight game that I'm intrigued about, it's the arrival of IVB Boxing. It's this San Francisco show they're gonna do it Wilder and Usyk. Because look, sure, maybe you couldn't get a big crowd for Usyk and Wilder if people had to pay to come out. But if you're making most of the tickets free and you're making it accessible and it's in an open air space and it's gonna be part of this big time supposed distribution deal, which I'm not sure how that works. But if YouTube is on board and they're gonna push it out there, and they got the city involved, they got the mayor involved, it's a big time. One of the like San Francisco is one of the premier cities in America. I don't care nobody says, like it is. It's one of the top 5 to 10 most important cities in America in terms of culture, in terms of size, in terms of just everything. It's one of the most. So hey, more power to him. More power to him. What I wanted to play for you guys, actually, because I had it right here. All right, and shout out to everybody. Make sure you smash that like button. I had it right here. This is actually a clip from the meeting in front of the Civic Center in San Francisco, where they are announcing the event. So I'm gonna play it for you guys. This is the mayor and this the CEO of IVB Boxing announcing the July 11th date. They didn't mention Wilder or Usyk specifically, but the rumors are out there. Here it is.
San Francisco has always been a fight city. Boxing in San Francisco began during the gold rush, with illegal bare-knuckle fights in saloons and back rooms. During the Alcatraz era, inmates held informal matches. This is the city where legends fought. Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis, Jack Johnson. Under Mallory, San Francisco is entering a new era of renewal. The city stands at the epicenter of innovation, technology, and culture. It's a city that sets global trends where new ideas scale the world. This is exactly what IVB will be doing for boxing.
There you have it. Right there in the middle of the damn Civic Center. They got big plans. And every new venture in boxing always sounds good at first, so I'm not gonna fall in love with IVB Boxing or any of these promotional companies or entities, but I like where their heart is. I feel like I like what they're trying to do. I like the fact that they're doing this in the Bay Area, because I feel like there's at least like 4 or 5 cities in America that don't get enough fights, that should be getting more fights, and because promoters are lazy, they miss out. They miss out on a lot of opportunities. So yeah, there's that. Shout out to my man Sean Tatel showing the love with the $4.99 super chat. Make sure you guys go run it up and you go subscribe to Sean Tatel. All right, because I'm gonna get my plaque